Just a year ago, kids were chugging Prime like it was holy water blessed by KSI and Logan Paul themselves. But now, in 2025, you couldn't pay someone to take a sip. The numbers are brutal. Revenue down by 92%, lawsuits stacking up to over $77 million, and bottles collecting dust on clearance racks everywhere. What once felt like the drink of a generation has become a neon-colored cautionary tale. So how did Prime go from being one of the most in-demand drinks on the planet, sold out within minutes every restock, to becoming a bankrupt meme with lawsuits piling higher than its caffeine levels? Let's break down the rise and catastrophic fall of Prime. Back in 2022, the influencer economy was exploding. Every creator wanted to sell you something, and Logan Paul and KSI saw their moment. Two internet titans, masters of turning drama into gold, teamed up to create what was basically the AliExpress version of Gatorade. Bright bottles, loud fonts, Fortnite-looking colors. Prime didn't look like a drink. It looked like a thumbnail you could sip. And it worked. Their pitch was simple. They were the Gatorade of the YouTuber world. Translation? The drink didn't have to be great, as long as the marketing was. Stores couldn't keep it in stock. Parents drove hours to find bottles. Teenagers flexed Prime like it was a Rolex. But the secret ingredient wasn't flavor, it was scarcity. Prime didn't just sell drinks. It sold hype, limited drops, exclusive flavors, time-sensitive restocks. Every release triggered dopamine, hits like a video game loot box. Kids were paying $20 to $50 a bottle just to show off on TikTok. Ad sponsorships with Arsenal and the UFC, and Prime went nuclear. For a while, it wasn't just a drink. It was a status symbol. Kids can't buy Lamborghinis or watches, but they can buy a $10 bottle of Prime. But manufactured urgency always expires. The moment the shelves stayed full, the magic vanished. And then came the turning point, Prime Energy. Same flashy branding, but this time, 200 milligrams of caffeine per can. That's fine if you're a grown adult. But Prime's branding screamed Saturday morning cartoon. It looked like a kid's drink, so kids grabbed it. And when they did, they started collapsing from caffeine overload. Schools banned it, parents freaked out, and Logan tried damage control, saying, "It's for adults, not kids." But if that's true, why market it like a Fortnite battle pass? Prime wanted it both ways, hydration for kids, energy for adults, but that contradiction became a legal nightmare waiting to happen. And it did. Once the hype wore off, people actually started tasting Prime. And let's be honest, the reviews were savage. Tastes like melted plastic, fake Gatorade, cough syrup. The novelty was gone, and the flavor couldn't keep it afloat.
What is that flavor you got there?
Tropical punch, it says.
Oh, Jesus.
Loosely. You've just come from the Maldives. How tropical
it's like
is that?
swallowing perfume. What is that?
Then came the lawsuits, and they hit harder than a caffeine crash. Lawsuit 1. Refresco versus Prime, $67 million. Refresco was one of Prime's manufacturers. They claimed Logan's company promised to buy a certain amount over 3 years, then ghosted them once sales dropped. Refresco sued for $67 million, more than Prime's entire 2024 revenue.
This morning, New York Senator Chuck Schumer is calling on the FDA to investigate the energy drink Prime, which he says is being marketed to children and contains the caffeine equivalent of 6 cans of Coca-Cola.
Lawsuit 2. Agrana versus Prime, $13 million. Agrana supplied ingredients, but said Prime refused to pay up. Prime fired back saying the ingredients were subpar. Regardless, another public mess. Lawsuit 3. PFAS contamination. The grape flavor allegedly contained forever chemicals, substances so toxic the EPA limits them in drinking water. Plaintiff said Prime was serving chemical cocktails to kids. Lawsuit 4. High caffeine mislabeling. Turns out, some cans might have had more caffeine than the 200 milligrams advertised. The issue? The packaging looked identical to the kid-friendly hydration drink. So now they were accused of deceptively marketing a hyper-caffeinated beverage to minors. Lawsuit 5. The Olympics case. Remember those limited edition Team USA bottles with Kevin Durant? Yeah, Prime didn't have permission from the US Olympic Committee to use that branding. Another lawsuit. Another payout. Reportedly $2 million. Add it up. $67 million plus $13 million plus $10 million plus $2 million. Over $90 million in lawsuits. And Prime's 2024 profit? Just $430,000. You do the math. While Logan tried brushing it off as frivolous lawsuits, the damage was already done. The media ran wild, regulators got involved, and parents realized their kids were guzzling rocket fuel disguised as hydration. And while all this chaos unfolded, sales cratered. In the UK, revenue fell from £112 million in 2023 to just £33 million in 2024, a 70% collapse. Profits plunged by over 90%. In the US, another 40% drop. You walk into Target, and cases that once sold out in minutes now sit untouched on clearance for $5. Even the fans moved on. A year ago, a TikTok about Prime could pull 1 million views overnight. Now, you're lucky to get a few thousand. Prime became a victim of its own hype. It was never about hydration, it was about hype, flexing, and FOMO. Once kids realized they weren't getting anything special, just overpriced sugar water, the illusion broke. Even worse, the caffeine energy line got banned from multiple schools across the world. News outlets ran horror stories. Parents demanded investigations. Politicians started calling for federal oversight. Senator Chuck Schumer even asked the FDA to step in, saying Prime Energy had the caffeine equivalent of 6 cans of Coke, but looked like a sports drink for kids. From a business perspective, this was a textbook collapse. Logan and KSI mistook virality for longevity. They locked themselves into high-cost contracts and overproduced for a market that was moving on.
So earlier this year, a weird string of rumors started floating around because someone sued us saying that Prime had forever chemicals like more than you were supposed to drink in like a lifetime, whatever. I made a TikTok debunking it, but regardless, the rumor still got out there, and like low-key the damage is done. And now, even though we're in this lawsuit, whether it's true or not, people think it. And so the lawsuit got dismissed. The plaintiff does have a chance to amend it, but she's chosen not to. She's coming back with one really weak ass claim that's probably also going to get dismissed. But it's just like an example of people reaching, trying to get attention, make a quick buck on a frivolous lawsuit that actually has no merit or is based in nothing. And we're not going to settle. Oh, the caffeine one. Where plaintiff said there was a crazy amount of caffeine that didn't meet what we said on our label in Prime Energy, which is 18 plus and has 200 milligrams of caffeine. That one also got dismissed.
Once TikTok stopped caring, they were left with warehouses full of drinks nobody wanted. And it's not just the lawsuits or sales drops, it's reputation. Prime went from a global flex to a global joke. Once a symbol of influence, now a warning sign of what happens when marketing outruns morals. Today, Prime's still limping along. You can find it buried on clearance shelves next to Bang Energy and random off-brand protein chips. Arsenal still lists them as a sponsor, the UFC still has the logo, but the hype is gone. Prime didn't fail because people hated it. It failed because it was built on a moment, not a model. A business built on clout doesn't last once the clout runs out. And that's exactly what happened here. From viral sensation to legal disaster, Prime is proof that you can't build a billion-dollar empire out of memes and artificial flavoring. So, what do you guys think? Was Prime always a scam, or did it just get lost in its own hype? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.